Welcome back to the Authentic Human Podcast. This episode finds you when you're ready for massive transformation. So, we're mixing it up a little bit today. We're not having a guest today. Instead, we're going to address a really common conversation that I am seeing right now with what's going on in the world. So, there's a lot of people who seem to have lost their alignment, their creativity, their inspiration. And what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining to you exactly what's going on a universal level so that we can clear up any misconceptions so that you can realign and you can come back and feel like you're living your purpose again. And the other thing we're going to talk about today is um, those specific date portals and transmissions and shifts and downloads that people, we get as a as a human race, we love participating together with other humans in ceremony. And it doesn't really matter what the ceremony is, whatever speaks to us, we want to participate. And so, what I've really noticed over the past 20, 25 years is there is this massive movement towards these particular dates, right? Like the 12, 12, 12, or 888 or 666, right? Like June 6th, 2006, or whatever the numbers are, right? Whenever they come in. And I feel like you need to understand, first and foremost, why these transmissions are happening. But the problem that I'm really seeing is the people who are delivering these transmissions don't always understand the bigger picture themselves. So they're giving you a tiny bit of information, and you're then needing to take it and run with it. And the problem with that approach is you don't have the tools you need to make that information, that new awareness, that new energy that you now have access to, right? You don't have the awareness of how to make it work for you. And this is where, these ceremonies and these transmissions, they're not serving you. It is wonderful to come together and celebrate in community, but you need to understand the implications. So it's like, imagine if you were going to a party tomorrow night, okay? And you need to prepare for going to that party, right? You need to prepare your schedule. You need to understand what time you're going to arrive and what the dress code is, what the food is, what if there's food, right? If there's not food, do you need to eat before? Do you need to eat? Are you going to eat when you're there? Do you need to bring food, or is food being served to you? Right? Same thing with drinks. Do you bring drinks? Do you not? And then you also know, okay, so this is what we're doing during that event. So the next day, this is how I'm going to feel, right? So you know what to book, what to not book, and that's just a 1 day party, okay? What we're talking about is universal shifts. So, as much as it's not like a 1 day party, there is proper planning and understanding of the impact of your participation. But also, you know, so as humans, right, original humans, we knew when these awarenesses were coming, these shifts were coming, we fully participated, but we also understood how to apply it to our lives. And we've lost that ability. So what's happening is we're feeling the energy coming in, and it's leaving us scattered for sometimes days on end, sometimes weeks, sometimes months, sometimes years. It really depends on how impactful that particular blast, energy, download, uh, you know, portal, transmission, whatever word you want to use. Okay. It doesn't matter. It's a shift in conscious awareness of the universal energetic experience that you are having. Okay. That's the explanation. You can use whatever word you want, whatever word makes you happy. But the point is, we as a human race need to start looking for the bigger picture. We need to ask bigger questions. And we need to have a comfortable place to do that. But we also need to stop shaming people who are asking those bigger questions. Because here's the thing, we learn by asking bigger questions. And bigger questions doesn't mean the question is complicated. It means that question is going to bring you awareness of something you didn't know before. You didn't know how something worked, how, any aspect of conscious existence is is meant to be, how it was created, how it's meant to be experienced. That's our job as humans, right? We came here to explore our potential, which means we need to ask questions about everything pertaining to what interests us and what brings us joy. Most people don't even know what brings them joy. Why? Because we live in a world where we're taught on a regular basis to follow rules that we did not set up. And this is why there's so much depression, anxiety, fear, resentment, jealousy. And this is what I mean is participating in these transmissions and these downloads without understanding what's really going on creates more depression, more anxiety, more frustration. And what happens is we sit in that depression and we start to think, what is wrong with us? There's nothing wrong with you. You just forgot how to access that awareness. And the person who gave you the insights and the smaller bits of transmission and information didn't give you the full picture about yourself. So the first, like, we're just going to clear up a little bit. So back in August, okay, we're in September now. So a month ago, August 8th, there was a shift. There was a massive shift. This is the biggest shift that we have had to date in human existence. Okay, so just feel into that. This is the fifth iteration of human existence. Okay, and this is the first time that humanity has gone offside just a little bit. And the creator said, no, I am not going to erase humanity and start it again this time because I believe in humanity. I believe in your ability to restore yourselves because each one of you has a piece of me inside of you. So not and the reason that they have a piece of we have a piece of the creator isn't, you know, it's not superficial. It's vital because it helps us understand other universal beings instantaneously. That's why you have that, right? It's so that you know where home is. You always feel supported. You always feel in connection with your home, with your space. And that's why feeling is so integral to, your success as a human being. So back to August 8th, the shift, we've been working on breaking down the old foundation of human existence. Okay, what does that mean? It means tearing down all the lies. Okay, so every single lie in existence needed to be exposed. It doesn't mean you personally had awareness of everything. You had awareness of the lies that impacted your success. Okay. And it was up to you to decide what you were going to do with them. And this has been going on for 500 years. So 500,000 years, really, this revolution, this growth. But what he's saying is, over the last 50,000 years, it's really been about resurrection and resurrecting humanity's conscious awareness and conscious ability to participate in our own journey, right? So the last 50,000 years, which is crazy because our brains have been taught to think in such linear lines, time, space as our calendar, right? And our, what's in your computer, what's in your phone that tells you, um, AD and BC, like all of those things are so limiting and they've created this illusion, right? So these are all the illusions that have been breaking down. Some of them you're going to have seen, some of them you're not, and it doesn't matter because the point is you saw the ones up until August 8th that impacted your ability to move forward in the sense that you built your foundation on them, right? Because we were tearing down the old foundation. Okay. It's ultimately why the internet was created, believe it or not, because the information that has spread like wildfire on the internet, that's how they're showing me, it's like wildfire, is everything that's not really true. And yet, all the lies have been able to be revealed. Okay. So it's interesting because a lot of the things that we've been taught are true are fundamental lies, and they go against our human existence, our human nature, all of these things. And so that's really what we were doing. So your entire life, because this is 50,000 years, okay? But we were reaching that pinnacle, that pinnacle moment where the universe shifted. And that's what happened on August 8th. We shifted from uh, an evolutionary experience of breaking down to building up. Again, has never been done in the history of existence itself. That's how significant and impactful this is. And yet, it also has to flow seamlessly from one day to the next in the sense of they're never going to create a shift that's going to create worldwide anarchy. Okay? It doesn't work that way. When you see little bits of anarchy, you see war, you see all these things, those are still representations of the manipulation that we've been living for a very long time. Okay? Because conscious awareness and shifting has zero room for retribution, um, warfare, anything of that nature, right? Because as we shift towards purity, right? Joy, truth. Yeah, truth is uncomfortable, but truth is not destructive. But we've been told that truth is destructive, which creates this illusion that we need to be fearful of truth, right? So if you think about how many things right now, think about just one. Start with one thing that you really want to know, that you have this burning question that you want to know about your life, and then feel into the fear you have about learning that one thing. This is a huge dynamic that humanity has been learning to overcome for the past 50,000 years. Now, what happened on August 8th is that we started building a new foundation. Okay. So the difference between tearing down an old foundation and building a new foundation is massive. It's hugely significant. And yet it's going to look similar in the sense of what's uncomfortable. Okay, so before, when something was uncomfortable, we were being shown because it was time to break that belief down, break that pattern down. And now it's different. And here's the thing is when you don't understand this simple nuance, you're not going to understand why you're feeling like you're under constant pressure. Whether you feel like you're putting that pressure on yourself to perform, to understand, to explore, whatever it is. But it's understanding that when you're building a new foundation, okay, everything matters, everything counts. And the entire universe is on your side, which means if things aren't working, if they're not gelling, if they're not flowing, then that dynamic is not meant to be a part of your new foundation. I need you to feel that. I need you to allow that awareness to come in, okay? Because building a new foundation looks nothing like tearing down the old. And we that are here currently in physical form knew what was coming. We knew we were going to have to pivot from tearing down an entire society, an entire human race based on illusions, to learning how to build a new foundation. And that's what this is we're learning how, okay? So if it's not flowing, it means you're not aligned with your highest purpose, your the reason for your existence. You're meant to succeed. That is written in the stars. Why? Because you exist. The creator didn't create you so you could go and suffer and fail. No, that's part of the old manipulation game, that illusion. And the reality is it's shifting out of those illusions. That's hard to do when you're addicted to them. And this is where, this conversation may get a little uncomfortable. It may get a little sticky in the sense that you have significant addictions to your behaviors and to your beliefs. And this is what building a new foundation demands of you. It demands that you look at your own behaviors. And to be honest, we don't want to do it. We want to make sure that it's somebody else's fault, or, somebody else can fix it, or we want to fix somebody else, right? Or we want to fix ourselves. Here's the thing. You're not broken. Healing is restoring balance. So you're not in a constant state of healing. That's not what you're meant to be doing. You're meant to be exploring your potential, exploring what brings you joy, because that there contributes to human existence, human evolution. It contributes to your own evolution, and that means that you're contributing to the evolution of the entire universe. That's what you're meant to be doing. And I know you can sit there and think, wow, that's too big. It's too big for me. How can I make a difference? You were created to make that difference. And it is not a demand that's been put on you. It's not like it's tricky. It's tricky as we're going out of this old belief system and into this new understanding and creating this new foundation. And it means you need to create an entire new belief system that supports your understanding that you exist for a reason. Hmm. Your nature is to contribute to human evolution. Okay. What does that even mean? Human evolution means we are constantly doing things that have never been done before. Why? Because humans would never do anything redundant. And yet we've been taught to. So that's what I mean by we're so addicted to our beliefs, right? The things that we have to do the same thing every day. We have to do it this way. Gosh, there's people out there running businesses. There's people going to school, and we're doing the same thing over and over and over again, hoping for a different experience at the end. And that's what we're doing right now as a human race, is we're getting ready for your best life, which means you need to allow yourself to break up with those old beliefs that don't work. So how do you know where to start and which ones to look at first? Wherever your life isn't flowing, whether it's finances, whether it's your relationship, whether it's your home, whether it's your family, whether it's your community, whatever it is, you need to come back, sit down, spend some time with yourself. You don't have to sit in a dark room or a quiet room. You can go out in nature. You can do it while you're washing the dishes. You can do it while you're taking a shower. It's better not to do it with friends until you can get a good vision of your your dreams and your goals. And I want you to feel them, because you're going to test the waters. by, you know, then sharing those with your friends and your loved ones, okay, one at a time. And notice if yours change based on what other people are saying, okay? And sometimes they'll change because you're like, oh, I actually would like to experience that. And I never even thought about that before. Or, oh, maybe I don't want this because that person doesn't want it. Or maybe I should want this because this person thinks it's a good idea. All of those nuances are what you're addressing right now. Okay. This is why life feels uncomfortable. You're letting go of addictions. And man, oh man, it is uncomfortable, right? Because your addictions are what shape how you think and how you approach every single minute of your day. And you're breaking up with it. So you can create a new approach to life and to existence. Why? So that you can come out. Sorry, my nose is itchy. So that you can come out from behind this. It's like the way that it's like a cloaked, not cloaked. It's this illusion. It's like literally they're showing me a world that looks like it exists, but it's just smoke. It's just smoke and mirrors, right? So you're coming back to the real world. And you can't bring your addictions with you. They don't vibrate at a high enough vibration. And that's the dichotomy, right? This is where you know you're meant for more. Oh, but if I go there, maybe I'll just bring this belief with me. Maybe I'll bring this doubt with me. Maybe I'll bring this fear with me, and I'll try to get there. It will never work. Okay? You can't bring the addictions. You can't bring the fears. You can't bring the shame. You can't bring the guilt because there is no room. That the vibration of those energies do not fit the vibration and of the purity that is you, the truth that is you, all of the compassion, the love, respect, joy, all of those things that you were created to be. And if you want more information about those, I highly suggest picking up my book, Believe, because in this, they explain the 9 fundamental energies that are inside of you. The reason that I'm such a proponent of it is, yeah, okay, I wrote it, but it keeps you aligned with the truth and where you're going so that when doubts come in, when fears come in, it rights the wrongs in the sense of the direction. So when your addictions want to pull you back down, they want to suck you out, they want to suck the joy out, they want to make you focus on your fears so you feel like you can't move forward. It helps remind you of who you really are and why you have those big dreams in the first place, right? So it's a massive step forward, but it's understanding that if you're not feeling that inspiration right now, it's because the way, either what you're trying to create or the way you're trying to create it or who you're trying to create it with isn't at the right vibration yet. So your job is to figure out, where are the beliefs? Where are the addictions that I have? So these are mental, emotional, physical addictions that you have that you're trying to use to create this new foundation. And the universe is saying, no, not, you can't move forward until you let those go. Okay. So, let me know below, right? Reach out, let me know what beliefs you're breaking down, right? And if you're not sure of what they are, right, that right below what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, and I'm going to do my best to help you. Okay. If you want more one-on-one guidance, if you want more group guidance, I do have a private community where it's uncensored. So conversations of all things can happen. And we actually start our new season on September 11th, and it is live at 8 p.m. We do Zoom calls. Well, right now we're using Zoom as our platform, but we're doing live calls at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And it's weekly from September to May of 2025. And this is where we're constantly staying in touch with the universe, what's going on, how to build the foundations while also understanding each year, because still 2024 is the year of purity. It's all about communication. So we're deep in exploring what's going on universally so we can understand who we need to be, and we're breaking those awarenesses down. So if you want more information, I highly encourage you to become a member of our community. You also have instant access to the community forum and discussion, so you can ask questions, you can see what other people are asking and what the conversation is and how it's going, because that's another really important part right now is making sure you're surrounding yourself with people who do want to go all the way to the universal perspective, right? So that's truth, is the universal perspective. There's only one version of events ever. There's no such thing as my truth and your truth and his truth and her truth. Truth is truth. There's one variation, and either you're willing to see it or you're not. And what determines if you're willing or not are all those beliefs, all our addictions. Because every time we have a belief, right? When we don't want to see truth, it's typically because we're going to have to face aspects of our life that we're not ready to unravel or to, create any upheaval. But if it's coming up, the universe is saying you are ready. And you have to let go of the belief that you're not ready, that you can't do it yet. It's going to be too much, right? We've got this burdensome belief, right? Everything is a burden, everything's hard, everything's traumatic, dramatic. And what happens as a result is we don't move forward, which goes against our nature because we're explorers. We naturally explore existence. So every single time you're you're in that mindset of, well, I have fear or I have this and I don't want to do it because what if this happens or what if that happens, right? Sometimes it's control, but control comes around mostly because we have fears. We have fears of not being good enough to succeed, not having awareness and that we want to know the outcome before. But again, that's not our nature. We don't need to know the outcome before ever. But if you find you do, then you're not actually participating in evolution. You're participating in your fears. You see? So you're sitting there in them, and it's kind of like a mud bath, right? You're absorbing them, and sometimes it's fun, right? Then you get together with friends who everyone wants to stay in that same dynamic. Let's all get in the mud bath together and we'll laugh and it'll be hilarious. But at the end of the day, you're not moving forward. So you really want to make sure that you're participating in a way that brings truth to the forefront and allows you to participate. Okay? So that means you need to set up a foundation that supports your exploration. Okay? So surround yourself with humans who are comfortable being uncomfortable, who are comfortable asking questions that maybe people just don't think we should be asking, right? There's nothing off limits. If you have a question and you're wondering about something, anything, there's a reason you're wondering. And you need to explore that aspect of existence and find the person who's going to answer your questions. Do not spend your time wasting away. God, don't waste your time worrying that someone's going to judge you. It's okay. If you ask a question, someone judges you, that's perfect because they're letting you know they're not your tribe. They're not your people, right? That's great. Thank them. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for showing me where I need to go, where I need to focus, right? And where I need to put my energy. It doesn't mean you're leaving them behind forever. It means they're showing you and letting you know that you're just not at the same vibration and awareness. It doesn't mean that you're better or they're better. It means you're not aligned in this moment. And your question that you want to be answering this week, every single day is, who am I aligning with today? Am I aligning with my highest purpose, with my highest self? with truth, with purity, with joy? Or am I going to align with my addictions? Right? And those addictions, look at the people you hang out with. Look at the people that surround you. Look at the people that you work with, the people you spend time with, because they're going to reflect your beliefs. It is not a bad thing. Learn from them. Notice the things about them that annoy you, that frustrate you, that make you want to just be like, I gotta go, because you're probably doing the same thing, and that's why it's annoying you and frustrating you. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, right? Alone, the fact that we are actually doing the things that annoy us in other people. This is where we're at. We're building a new foundation, and it's beautiful, and it's uncomfortable, and it's sticky, and it's glorious, and it's remarkable. Anything you place your attention and your focus on, it's coming into fruition instantly. Instantly. It's paying attention to what you're focusing on so that you can create your foundation with integrity. And integrity is so important. This is what I was talking about earlier, right? Is these people who we get into the fanfare of these transmissions and downloads and into the ceremony aspect, right? We want to go to the party, but we don't want to participate in preparing for the party. We don't want to participate in the cleanup after the party, and understanding that whatever we experience at that party is going to carry forth with us. That's integrity, is understanding all of those things. That's where we're going as a human race. And a lot of people aren't ready to look at how all the pieces fit together. They want to see this piece, they want to see this piece. The pieces we're comfortable seeing, and a lot of the time, the pieces that we're comfortable seeing means that we're judging others. So just look at your behaviors, look at your participation, and start to ask yourself these bigger questions. Okay? This is what it's all about right now. And I want you to just take a minute and start to feel into what your biggest dreams are. A lot of these dreams are going to come out from your childhood. If you notice, there's so much of this going on too, is memories, like strange, weird memories of like really weird things that happened in our childhood and our teens and our 20s, and they're coming up now for a reason. It's not because it's clearing out, okay? It's showing you the lesson that you learned from that experience, the strength you gained from it, the integrity that you now have around that aspect of existence. And so what they're saying is, how are you going to incorporate this into your foundation going forward? Because it can't be that way before, right? So notice that. Notice the nuances of your life and your existence, and start to pay attention to your own evolution. Okay. Less worrying about charming other people, less worrying about proving yourself to other people. Right now, your job is to fulfill yourself. Okay. You want to fulfill yourself in all the areas of your life, in your love with your partner, with your family, with your community, with your career, your higher calling, with your home. Doesn't matter whether you live on the road or whether you have a ginormous mansion. It doesn't matter what your home is, but it's understanding you're building a new foundation with your home. How do you want to feel? Right? It's your spiritual journey, right? Spiritual journey isn't a whole bunch of spiritual beliefs that someone's going to, tell you. They're not indoctrinations. Your spiritual journey is restoring your alignment and awareness of self, who you are. That is the only way to move forward. Okay. There's no quick fix for this. There's no, um, you are your own master. And it's understanding that in order to remember that, you have to break down all these beliefs. That's what you're being encouraged to do right now. Your foundation is set in the sense of it is literally pre-written that your success is based on your ability to evolve. That's the reason for existence. So all you're meant to be doing right now is exploring your potential. What does that mean? What brings you joy? What brings you interest? Go out and try it and do it and play with it. That's it. And integrity is paramount, right? Integrity tells you when you're aligned with your soul or you're aligned with your addictions. And if it's an addiction, it's because you're ignoring something that is truth that you need to see. And that's great. It's great. It's taking that moment to go, awesome. Okay, I can see where the addiction is. I can see where my participation with that old belief system is. That's all addictions are, is an old belief system that block us from feeling. Why? Because we've been taught to do that. We've been taught to live in this physical world that way, but you're not meant to. And it's not natural. And that is why there's so much exhaustion. There's so much fear. There's so much resentment and anger and jealousy. And there's constant competition. Everyone is constantly competing with each other. The whole point of existence is to explore your own potential. That's it. And if you see someone out there who asks for your help, your guidance, and it feels like something that would bring you joy as well, participate. But if it does not, don't participate because it's not meant for you. But leave that space open for the person that it is meant for. Okay? Trust yourself. Learning to trust yourself is one of the greatest challenges as a result of the control and manipulation that humanity has had to endure. But you know how to do it innately. It is not something that is completely foreign to you. It's something you've forgotten how to do, but you're being reminded. And how are they reminding you? Anywhere and everywhere that you're uncomfortable, where it's not flowing effortlessly, look there, because your beliefs are out of balance and it's time to restore the balance. I look forward to your questions. I thank you so much for tuning in, for sharing your time with me today, and I hope to see you again next week. Thanks so much. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this conversation, learned something, or received any benefit that you believe will improve your life, subscribe to our channel so I can serve you better by attracting unique guests and starting even bigger conversations. If you know you're meant to change the world, head on over to michellevickers.com, where innovators and thought leaders go for guidance, wisdom, inside information, and support they can trust. Until next time, stay curious.